So it's just a few days to go now until we have patch 1.1 for Last Epoch. Ton of content coming with that. One part of the content is the fact that we're getting 30 brand new uniques. Now what we'll be doing in this video is we're going to look at some of my personal favourite ones that I've seen so far. Of course I haven't tested them, but on paper some of these look to be really pretty interesting. Now the tooltips for these and all uniques are available on Last Epoch tools, so feel free to check that out. But let's dive in and let's check out the ones that caught my attention here. The first unique we have here is one that I don't think it will be particularly strong, but it's pretty interesting what it is doing. It's called the Carination of Momentum. You would farm this from the Age of Winter because it is a ring. It's a common drop. It's equipable at level 23. The implicits here are giving you some extra vitality and health regen, but the reason I'm showing it off is the first modifier. So evade is replaced by summon crabs. So with 1.1 you have the ability to evade on top of your movement and skills, but you can actually change that so you can summon a crab instead. Alongside that you'll get increased minion armor as well. Now if you look at the summon crab tooltip, again available in Last Epoch tools, looks like you can only summon one of these, which is a bit of a bummer. I would like to have an army of crabs, but who knows, it may actually hit pretty hard. So if nothing, I'm interested to try this out. I don't think it'll be anything we'll be using at endgame, but it could be a fun unique to use whilst you're leveling. The next unique we have here is Boots. This is the Flight of Quetzeri. So this one equipable at level 12. You would farm it from the Spirits of Fire and it's a common drop, so it should be pretty easy to get this. Looks like it'll be a really nice leveling unique. So with this you've got your implicits of increased movement speed. It gives you an additional evade charge. You have increased cooldown recovery on evades, and also when you evade you actually gain haste for a period of time after you use it as well. On top of that, it actually buffs the haste effect, so it will make you move even faster. So yeah, the fact this is available at level 12 and it's a common drop, I can see this being really great for leveling. The next unique we have here is a two-handed spear. This is Plague Dragon's Tongue. So this particular one will make Serpent Strike and the Locusts really pretty strong by the looks of it. Implicits are really pretty nice. You've got melee damage, up to 7% melee critical strike chance, and then you get 75% fire resistance, so you're maxing that out. Modifier wise, so you have a chance to summon a Locust and hit with Serpent Strike. Now normally with the Druid you can summon up to 12 locusts. Through the Swarmblade tree you can add an additional 3, so that's 15. However, if we look at the next modifier here on this, it can give you an additional 7 maximum locusts, so that would mean in total if you are using this you could have up to 22 locusts out at the same time, which is going to be really pretty amazing. On top of that as well, you see if we go down a few modifiers, you've got up to 27% increased attack, cast and movement speed for your locusts, and also 27 flat melee physical damage for your locusts as well. So yeah, this is going to be really pretty fun to see the entire screen just covered with these just destroying everything. With patch 1.1 then we will be seeing some pretty nice buffs for the Forge Guard and specifically forged weapons. Now I'll quickly run over some of the skills and passive changes, and then once we've done that we'll get into this unique which you'll see is tied in with that. So forged weapons through your actual skill tree, they'll gain more additional health, and your great axes that you have a chance to spawn, they'll hit in a larger area and they'll do more damage. Through your passive tree you can have it so your forged weapons will actually shred armor and also increase their attack speed by up to 30% as well. Looking at this unique here, which is all about forged weapons, it's the Phantom Grip. It's a ring, so it's farmable from the Age of Winter. It's a common drop, equipable at level 14, so it should be really nice to get. The modifiers on this, which will be great for a forged weapon build, is +2 to the level of minion skills. You've got up to 4% flat minion critical strike chance. You have 8 melee necrotic damage for forged weapons. I'm not quite sure the reason for this or where it will fit in. It's been some time since I've played the game, so I'm probably missing something, but if you know where this would fit in, then do let me know in the comments below. But the bottom modifier here that's really interesting is the stats on your gloves apply to your forged weapons, up to 100% effectiveness. If we look at, for example, a nice set of gloves you could use, you've got the Selenium Bracers. So with these, your implicits is armour, up to 40% increased critical strike chance. At tier 5 for these different modifiers, you could have up to 50% increased critical strike chance, 15% increased melee attack speed, and you get your chance to apply frailty, and also your chance to shred armour on hit, and that will all apply to your forged weapons. And bear in mind, you'll have multiple of them applying the stacks of frailty or shredding the armour, and you've got that increased attack speed and critical strike chance on them as well. So this could be really pretty awesome. This is probably one of the ones I'm most excited to actually try out. For the next unique here, we're sticking with another companion based one. This is Gnaw's Tooth. So higher level, this one, it's level 64, you would equip it. It's actually very rare, so it could be difficult to get, and you're getting it from the Reign of Dragons if you're looking to focus farm this. Now with this particular one here, it's all about your raptor skill, which comes with the Beastmaster. So if we look at the important modifiers here, you've got up to 17 flat melee damage for you and your minions, you've got up to 10% increased movement speed for you and your minions, plus 2 to the level of minion melee skills. Your raptor size is decreased by 17%. It doesn't do anything to their damage, but it makes it harder for enemies to hit them. Your raptors deal up to 47% less damage, so that doesn't look good at all. But if you look at the bottom modifier here, this is where the unique gets interesting. So you can summon raptors up to your companion limit. So it's very similar to the setup a lot of people run in Beastmaster, where you've got all your wolves out. With this, you will have raptors out instead. Quite how this will actually work, I'm not quite sure. I think I need to play it in game before I can make a decision whether or not you'll be able to get some pretty powerful builds for this, because there's a lot going on, and some of these uniques you can tell straight away they're going to be powerful. This one I'm not actually quite sure, and I would need to test it, but if nothing, it will be fun to have a raptor army running about with you. This next unique is another one that I have no idea how it will actually work, but it does look interesting if nothing else. With this, you will actually be able to have a shield on your offhand and your main hand as well, because this is a one Handy Dax, but it's essentially a shield as well at the same time. So it's the Monument of Protection. You would farm it from the Reign of Dragons. It's a common drop, level 52. You can equip this particular one. One of the skills that really buffs is Shield Bash, and that is getting a ton of changes with patch 1.1. I would say read the patch notes if you're looking for more info, because there is a lot changing with that skill. But for this particular one, implicits, you've got melee damage, you've got up to 10% block chance. I say up to 10%, it looks to be a flat 10% block chance. You've got block effectiveness. For your modifiers, you've got health gained on block, you've got endurance, you've got additional flat melee damage for shield bash and shield rush, you have increased block effectiveness, and it will reduce your movement speed. So this is one that I think we could see some pretty awesome stuff going on with this, but again, I need to actually be in game and playing around with it before I can make a decision. But if nothing else, once again, it's going to be pretty fun to dual wield shields. The next unique we have here is a two-handy Dax. This particular one, it looks like it's set up for the Beastmaster. Personally, I'm quite intrigued to try it out on the Werebear setup to see how it would actually work, but this is the Sword Catcher. So two-handy Dax, equipable at level 71. This is a rare drop. Implicit wise, it's got 130 flat melee damage and a chance to apply bleed on melee hit up to 190%. Modifiers, it's got 13% parry chance. A parry is essentially a block, so you don't take any damage, but if you've got an on hit effect, then it will still proc. That doesn't actually work that way with dodge, so parry in a way is better than dodge. What's amazing on this one is it offers up to +6 to the level of melee skills, and that's where I think the Werebear could be really nice, because you'll use a ton of melee skills with that particular setup, and +6 to potentially all of them. Yeah, that's a whole lot of extra skills. Also with this, you get up to 39 flat melee damage for you and your minions, and then you have a chance on parry to restore you and a random minion to full health and grant frenzy for 5 seconds. So with frenzy, you'll be attacking quicker, and then also up to 60 melee damage while you have frenzy as well. So 130 melee damage, the 39 flat amount which you're gaining via your modifier, and then when you have frenzy, an additional 60. It's just a huge amount of flat melee damage there, and also you get an increased effect of frenzy on you up to 60% as well. So yeah, looking forward to trying this one out. The final unique here, we've probably saved one of the best ones for last. This is called the Event Horizon, equipable at level 80, and it's farmable from the Harbinger of Destruction. That's one of the new bosses coming with patch 1.1. This weapon will be used on your slower hitting attacks, but attacks that hit really hard. A Raisin Strike could be a great example for this. Looking at what it offers, you've got implicits of 126 melee damage, which is just standard really for your two-handed weapon. Modifier wise, it offers up to 72% damage penetration for all resistances with melee damage, so that's amazing, and I love the fact that it's all resistances, so it opens this up being used on various different characters and masteries. Now with this, when you use it and you hit an enemy, you gain a stack of something called Dilation. It goes up to 10 stacks. The only way to remove those stacks is to evade. Once you do that, your stacks go back down to 0. So what do the stacks actually offer? This is what makes this amazing. So with 10 stacks, you'll get 150% more melee damage. You will, however, have 50% less attack and cast speed, but you're going to be using this on builds that don't spam their attacks, but instead every few seconds fire off an attack that does a huge amount of damage. So the lower attack speed isn't going to hit you too hard with this. What could make it pretty difficult, and you probably need to use this in tankier builds, is that you'll have 50% less movement speed with your max 10 stacks. However, that's offset a little bit. If you look down the bottom, you can see you get up to 15% increased movement speed in this. So in total, that would be potentially with 10 stacks, 35% reduction on your movement speed, but you're gaining that 150% more melee damage and up to 72% damage penetration as well. So I think we're going to see some bonkers one-shot builds with this particular unique. So that is a look at some of the more interesting uniques coming with patch 1.1 in the next few days for Last Epoch, and total, as mentioned, there will be over 30 uniques, so really can't wait to jump back into the game and start playing around and trying to come up with builds with some of these uniques as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the ones I've shown off, and let me know, even if you have a look at the Last Epoch site, if there's any other uniques there that really do perk your interest. And thanks for tuning in for this. Stay safe. I'll see you all again soon.